Cool. So then part of the shift into abundance and maximizing our potential is to have a more decentralized or universalized ability to manifest intention.
Yes. If everybody was highly intelligent and wanted to play along with each other by the rules, according to the golden rule, shall we say, the world would be a much better place. As it happens, however, the current tendency is towards centralization, the centralization of wealth and power. And now we've got this tiny little handful of no-goods that are basically trying to tell everybody else what to do as they accumulate all the wealth and all the power for themselves. All right, that's not an ideal world at all. Actually, that negates the entire purpose of the universe. It kills the point. All right, so we need to spread things around. We need to have more of what is called individualism, decentralization, as you put it, instead of centralization. See? Everybody has to take responsibility for human destiny. It can't just be put in the hands of a few filthy rich oligarchs, you see, who look upon everybody else as an animal or some kind of a stimulus response machine or a consumer automaton, okay? We've all got to take responsibility. We can't just dump it in the lap of some filthy rich, oligarch who then is going to do things his way. And then when we're dissatisfied with the results, and we certainly will be, because his interests come first, all right? Then, there's no point in complaining about that. We've all got to take responsibility, all got to become highly intelligent, educate ourselves to that effect, learn what reality is, learn what we are, learn how to cooperate with each other, and then everybody gets what they want. See? That can be done. That telesis can be fulfilled within the universe, okay? But human destiny cannot be fulfilled with this centralization. We're going to have, one planetary global government, with this bunch of, these people live in bubbles. They don't understand what it's like to live in the real world. We can't have a bunch of creatures like that telling us what to do all the time. All right, that takes away our freedom. We can no longer actualize ourselves as we would otherwise do, right? Because they're constraining everything we do. Okay, they're control junkies. They're control freaks who are telling us, do this, do that, don't do that, do this. You know how it is. I mean, people need their freedom, right? We inherit freedom from the one, from God. So naturally, we want to be able to use it. You tell me how some of these potentates, these oligarchs, fit into that. You want to do what Joe Biden tells you to do? I mean, I don't see any sign that Joe or any of the rest of these people are as smart as I am or even as good as I am. I don't want to do what they say. I don't regard them as being good enough or smart enough to be calling the shots like that, right? So everybody has to take individual responsibility, and that's a big load. We've got responsibilities. And then as a function of those responsibilities, then we have rights and we have true freedom as a result of that. There's a small group of people who want all the wealth and all the power. Are they going to let the telic recursion of the rest of humanity come to fruition and give humanity what it wants? Or are they simply going to continue with their ongoing agenda of accumulating more of the wealth and power for themselves? This is a problem. See, if you mechanize things the way they've mechanized things, you eventually choke off telic recursion. You stop the intentionality, the positive intentionality of other people from ever coming to fruition. That's what they're doing. Okay, so if there's no means to stop them, all right, then we've got a problem. And I think it's necessary for us to understand the nature of the problems that we face.
Cool. Agreed. And it feels like one of the means is the meeting of basic needs worldwide, is the decentralizing away from centralized banks and decentralizing away from centralized energy infrastructure as well.
Exactly. Things like that, things like the money supply have to be decentralized. But if you get up to decentralized, in other words, like blockchain, for example, not even blockchain is foolproof in that respect, because it can be, somebody can pull the plug on the internet. I mean, there's an internet kill switch. All of these governments have their fingers on that kill switch. They're only going to let decentralization proceed so far before they use that switch, right? You know what is that? They're very jealous. The international banking community is very jealous of its power over money. Okay, they're not going to let it go just like that. How do you stop? How do you take the power of money away from it? If you were to start printing, if you were going to say, okay, I've just invented the Atlas dollar. Okay, we're all going to trade in Atlas dollars now, and I'm going to take the money monopoly away from these oligarchs, and I'm going to have my own little share of it here. So we're going to use Atlas dollars. You've got to get other people to accept the Atlas dollars. In reality, what's going to happen is the Bureau of the Treasury, all kinds of federal agencies will converge on you and land on you and accuse you of counterfeiting and undermining the very fabric of reality by printing your own kind of money, right? And nobody else in the world is going to accept it. And with this decentralized economy where we're getting goods and services from all over the world, okay, you're not going to be able to get what you need because nobody else is going to accept your money, for example, in another country, right? So how do you decentralize that when they don't want to let go of
it? Nice.
Well, these are the problems that we face. I mean, I'm a realist. I like to be, realistic about our prospects. How do we get to the kind of world that we want? Well, we have obstacles now. The obstacles are huge. We need to take extraordinary action to make any progress at all. People have to realize that. Intentionality is a large part of it. Having those positive thoughts and envisioning the great kind of future that we want, that's a huge part of it. We've also got to address the obstacles. Okay, it's going to be risky and it's going to be dirty, but we have to do it. I wish there was a way to sugarcoat it, but there ain't. We have all kinds of history that we can look back at and see, these parasitic divergences have happened many times in the past, and they never lead anywhere good. Eventually, they lead to the dissolution of society and foreign invaders come in and take everything over. And then things are rebuilt on a different footing someplace else. We're out of someplace else's. There's no place else to go and start over. Okay, so this is a juncture in human history that is very important to us. Okay, it's a singularity. We're either going to have a human singularity where everybody takes responsibility for human destiny, or we're going to have another kind of singularity. The tech singularity with all of these oligarchs owning all of the technology and controlling it. And if you let them put the technology in you, they're going to control you as a function. See what I mean? These are all questions that mankind has never been faced with before. We've never had to deal with that kind of question. We need to deal with that kind of question right now, or it's going to be too late.